Hello, welcome back to our YouTube channel. You know gold, diamonds, beautiful to hold, deadly to defend. In Sudan, the glitter of gold hides a grim truth. Natural resources have helped turn politics into profit and profit into bullets. Today we'll explain how Sudan's riches became a reason for war, who benefits, and the latest developments on the ground. Natural resources, gold, diamonds, oil, can fund armies, enrich leaders and militias, and create a lucrative black market that undermines state authority. Earlier, the first major spark was oil. Before 2011, Sudan was a major oil producer. The oil fields were primarily located in the south. When South Sudan achieved independence in 2011, the north lost 75% of its proven oil reserves and a massive chunk of its revenue. This was a financial disaster for the regime in Khartoum, and they turned to minerals, especially gold, to make up the gap. That created new economic prizes for those with guns and connections. Because gold is small, high value, and easy to transport, it's ideal for both legal and illegal trade, and easy to use to buy weapons and pay fighters. Who control the mines? The fighting that erupted in April 2023 between the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, led by General al-Burhan controls state, and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, led by General Hamedi Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, is fundamentally a fight for political and economic control, with key gold mines and trade routes being central to the RSF's financing. After the major breakdown of state authority in 2023, gold production expanded in RSF-controlled zones and elsewhere. The RSF's control over Darfur is not just about gold. It's about controlling key trade routes connecting Sudan to Libya, Chad, and the Central African Republic. In Sudan, the two main military actors that emerged after 2023, the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, both sought control over mining zones, refineries, and export routes. In many regions, paramilitary groups, local militias, and private companies run mining operations. Control over mines means direct access to cash, and in the context of civil war, cash buys weapons and loyalty. Diamonds and artisanal mining have also fueled local violence in earlier decades, though in recent years gold became the main prize because of global demand and the ease of smuggling. How gold gets turned into war. Here's how the money trail typically works. 1. Armed groups or companies control the mine. 2. Gold is processed locally or sold unrefined to buyers. 3. Brokers, sometimes linked to transnational networks, export the gold. And 4. Proceeds are converted into hard currency or used to buy weapons and logistics. There is a network of buyers and refineries that enabled smuggling and rapid export, sometimes via planes or land routes to neighboring states. There have also been persistent allegations of foreign private actors and proxy networks buying Sudanese gold, and of foreign logistics facilitating the trade. The RSF expanded gold production in western areas it controls. This helped it finance operations and to maintain supply lines even when blockaded. Meanwhile, the SAF has sought to retake key nodes, not only for political control, but also for economic reasons. Investigators have documented the Sungu and Al Radam mining operations in Darfur functioning under RSF control. Production there has been tied directly to RSF revenues. Sudan's instability is exacerbated by the involvement of regional and global powers, each with its own interests. This conflict is not only domestic. The United Arab Emirates and Russian Wagner Group have been repeatedly implicated in providing support to RSF networks or being linked to gold trade channels. Egypt and Saudi Arabia have generally been more aligned with the Sudanese Army, SAF. Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, is primarily backed by Egypt, which has deep historical ties to the Sudanese military establishment. Egypt seeks stability and a friendly government in Khartoum to manage shared interests, particularly the Nile River water security. Other states, Turkey, Qatar, Chad, Eritrea, and others, have played diplomatic, logistical, or proxy roles at different times. The violence has resulted in an unimaginable human toll. In the Second Sudanese Civil War, an estimated 2 million people died and over 4 million were displaced. The Darfur conflict, starting 2003, led to an estimated 300,000 deaths. The conflict remains volatile. As of the latest reporting, violence in Darfur and elsewhere has intensified, with RSF offensives taking key towns and many civilian casualties. In late October 2025, for example, RSF seized El Fasher, one of Darfur's main cities, in a campaign that witnesses and health networks say left thousands dead and many more displaced. International monitors and news outlets warn of mass atrocities and a deepening humanitarian emergency. UN reporting also shows a stark rise in civilian killings in 2025, with tens of thousands displaced and thousands killed, a pattern linked to intensified offensives and resource-related territorial fights. The tragedy in Sudan is a textbook case of the resource curse weaponized by greed and indifference. Until the global community collectively agrees to pressure the foreign funders and cuts off the supply chain of conflict gold, the generals will have an endless supply of money to keep fighting. Sudan is dying, fueled by its own wealth, and it desperately needs the world to finally look and act. Without those measures, war will remain lucrative, and that makes peace much harder to sustain. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.